It's time to discuss our best hero team-up tier list for Season 1 because these game-changing picks for team comps can make sure that you win a game in Ranked easily. So we'll highlight what's meta through our tier list and also what's bad in this tier list, so keep that in mind when picking these characters in Ranked. In the previous season of Season 0, I was a Grandmaster 2 player at the top 0.4%, and in this season of Season 1, we're currently at Diamond 3 at the top 0.2%, still climb the ranks to get to the top 500, and hopefully rank 1 if it's possible. But having the best team-ups in your games will make things much easier, so let's discuss it and go through it within this video. The way that team-ups work, every character that's on the left of the team-up gets a seasonal bonus, so for this season, they get some type of damage increase, health increase, or healing increase, and on the right side of those characters, they get more of an active component or reap the benefits of having this hero team up in action. Also, every week we'll be giving away a Season 1 Battle Pass. All you need to do is make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with 2 friends, comment in the comment section down below, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and also on our Twitch, which is all linked in the description below. Winners will be announced on our Discord every week, so make sure to double check that as well. So let's start with the first one being the Hela team up. That's with Thor and Loki. Thor and Loki get the ability to resurrect, and this is a very good mechanic, which you can see right around here. In any moment, they do fall apart in a situation, say like that. Your team member, that's Hela, if she gets elimination, she will be able to resurrect that teammate, which will save so much time. They resurrect at the same place that they have fallen, which is so good. But even if your team members haven't fallen apart, you give them bonus HP per elimination, which means they have more sustainability, they can survive more, and be an ongoing threat. And Hela is a very picked character, everyone plays her for a reason, because it's so strong right now. And even with the nerfs, she's a very strong character, so this team up is always available, and also works with another team up, which we'll talk about in a bit. So now let's move on to the next team up, and that is Magneto with Scarlet Witch. They have some interesting benefits. We're going to keep it at the C tier for this team up. It is decent at best, due to the fact that Scarlet Witch isn't a very strong, prominent character in the high ranks, but can be very beneficial at the low ranks. So this could be something beneficial to you if you want to use this team up. And that team up is that Magneto does get Chaos Energy with his sword. So he gets a new attack where he gets a bit more fire range on his base attack, and it does a bit more damage, which is very effective for this character's kit. It allows him to build ultimate faster as well. So very strong team up for Magneto, but it's kind of weak overall. Because Magneto, you want it to be more of a defensive tank, not an aggressive tank. But this is just a secondary benefit he does get. In low elo, this does work out really well. High elo, you're going to start to suffer quite a bit. So we'll keep that at the D tier. The next team up is the Groot team up with Raccoon and also Jeff. This is also somewhat decent. I don't think it's the best team up in the game. Maybe this team up is the middle of the bunch, because it only gives benefits of more damage reduction towards the characters that are riding Groot in that situation, being Jeff or Raccoon. And that can keep them alive just a bit longer. But is it something that you're always going to use? Not really, so I might drop it down to C tier. So that has to be C tier because this is all it goes down to. Like being able to ride the character, which is alright that you take less damage, but certain characters like Rocket and Jeff need to be moving a lot more and not be on another character because their hitbox is connected to the other character to a certain degree, and they get picked off quickly because of them being stationary on someone else's shoulder. It's not going to be the best. Low elo, great. High rank's not really that good. So we keep it at decent. Now this might be a hot take, but the symbiote bond between Venom, Peni Parker, and Spiderman is kind of bad. I don't see it being that effective. It's not that good. And what it allows for is the ability to knock back opponents with your ability. The problem is that all these picks are pretty low tier picks. Spider-Man's very weak. Venom just got a buff. He's not substantially strong. He's just alright at best. And Peni Parker is just always good on defense, but on attack, kind of questionable. And it's also questionable depending on the team copy you're in. This is not a great team up at all. It's fun for quick play, low elo matches, but high ranks, you don't really get too much value out of using this because it's not coming back. It's supposed to get enemies off you in certain situations, but I know it's not useful at all at high ranks because you never see this team up in action. If you do, it's a rare occasion. Keep that at the bad tier. Now, this team up is 100% meta. The Gamma Charge. You have Ironman with Doctor Strange and also Hulk. You need Hulk to be active, plus other characters to get really the benefit of it. But the major benefit is for Iron Man because his damage on his beam attack becomes so much greater. Due to the fact that his damage being so high and can destroy enemies so quickly, you usually just want to ban Hulk at all costs so this team up is not actually active in any component. Because if it's up, every team is running this because it equals an easy game, an easy rank game no matter what. Doctor Strange does also get a benefit of having increased damage on his Maelstrom ability, and that's just better for him because it means more one-shots, more combos, and it works with his ultimate really nicely. So a very good team up has to be meta because it is always picked or always banned. It's never there and no one's using it. That's how it is, and that's how it's always going to be until they nerf this to the ground in some capacity. Even though they try to make it weaker this patch by nerfing Hulk in some capacity and also nerfing Doctor Strange, they're still prominent and they're very useful to use in all cases, in any map, in any rotation, any mission. For high elo players and low elo players, must pick team up at all costs. Now, the team up that I enjoy quite a lot is the Magik team up. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. Magik does provide the ability of her limbo to her teammates being Psylocke and Black Panther. They have the ability to rewind, and every time they rewind, they get bonus HP. And it looks like this. They're able to engage in some capacity, and once they're getting low, they just go back in time, rewind a couple seconds, and they also gain bonus HP depending on how much they were missing in that duration. It's really amazing they get those capabilities on these dive characters being Psylocke and Black Panther. They can go in, do so much damage, and hopefully survive because of this. It gives them a free ability to get away at any time. Instead of using their dashes or using any part of the kit, they just use this ability that's shared between them every 30 seconds. It's a very strong team up indeed. That's why I think it's straight B tier. Now, obviously, I main Magik, so I don't get really any benefits out of it. But whenever I have these two other characters on my team and they perform well, and I'm playing Magik, you know we're all popping off with this team up. Another team up that I think is kind of slept on, and no one's really talking about, is the Adam Warlock team up. I think this is S tier. This is such a good team up. It has to be right behind the Gamma team up, because what it does is allow the ability for Warlock, his resurrection ability on his passive, to be extended to Starlord and also Mantis. Mantis being a great support, Starlord being a great DPS character, giving them another resurrection at any time to use and be able to survive more and be more of an ongoing threat in fights is amazing. And alongside Adam Warlock's ult being a massive resurrection, the gameplay is insane. Like, you feel like no one's really disappearing. They're just always there. Even if you try to pick them off, you're like, I just got Starlord. Guess what? He's right there. I just eliminated the whole team. Guess what? Adam Warlock's just ultimate. The team up is just beautiful. And I feel like it's so good. And it synergizes well with 3 supports too. So if you run a 3rd support, like a Lunar, Invisible Woman, this team comp is absolutely crazy. So I like the team up. It's very strong on defense missions in any capacity in the higher ranks, and it's always a must pick if it's available. And majority of the time, it actually is. So if you're good on those characters, make sure to utilize it. You will reap the benefits pretty quickly. And the way the team up works is like this. So you just go into a second state where you can cocoon yourself and resurrect at any point of the map. You're roughly 10 seconds to make a choice if you want to cancel it or utilize it. And then if you utilize it, the charge is gone for 100 or so seconds before it refreshes again. So you can use this multiple times within the game, or in multiple times in a round, in order to have the full benefit of this team up. So we'll keep that in the S tier. Now the next team up is the Chiling team up. This is a very good team up. You think it's very underwhelming, but it's actually not. It's so active and it's so good to utilize. Namor being a very strong pick this season, especially countering dive comps and countering a lot of things actually, that the team up he gets is so beneficial. And the Jeff team up, if you do play Jeff, you get extra damage. So good. And what the team up looks like is that he places a frozen spawn, so he gets another ability where you can place another octopus at any time that also does damage and slows enemies per hit, and also just got a massive buff as well on it. Great stuff. And with Jeff, if you do use Jeff, that's the thing, you get more damage. And you'd be surprised how much damage this character actually does if they run this team up. I just versed this yesterday in a ranked game and pretty much lost because of it. Because Jeff was just surviving everything, and his damage output was just insane. So if no one's focusing, he's just doing DPS. And that makes the character a complete menace to deal with. So nothing too crazy in essence, what the team up is, but the benefits are there, and in each match, it's active. And just using the Ice Spawn and Namor will stop any assassin from diving in, because they can't do much about it. Because it auto-aims on him, and then puts a slow in them, and then the whole enemy team just activates their damage on that opponent that's been slowed. Free eliminations, that's for sure. So we'll keep that in the B tier, at very good. Could be higher than the other team up though. Let's put that higher than the Hela team up. Because I feel like it's much more consistent. Hela team up, it depends on how good the Hela is in order to give the benefits of resurrection. Now the next team up is also a very good team up. I think it's below or above, depending on what happens. I'm actually going to put this in meta. I feel like it deserves to be in meta. Because right now, Storm got buffed, and she's very effective. Thor got a buff as well, making him effective. Captain America buffed as well, and that makes him effective. And the team up got buffed too, where they can do more damage because of this team up. And the way the team up works is that Thor extends his passive or his benefits to his teammates being Storm and Captain America. Storm gets the benefit of another ability that is Chain Lightning, so more damage equals more ultimate, quicker, great stuff, and also gives the ability to one-shot. And then with Captain America, he gets extra damage and he gets another range attack. This is absolutely amazing to have. It's a good team up. If you play the other characters well as well, usually you just get the Thor team up plus Storm, and that's usually effective enough. But you can play Captain America well, why the hell not? I'll run the full team up at all costs this season, because it's just so good. And this leads to ultimates just popping off continuously with Storm. So I think you just have to run this if you're running Storm. At least for this season, it's going to be meta. Maybe in the future seasons, it just ends up being very good. But right now in Season 1, Storm is a meta pick character. Alongside that, with the extension of this team up, also being meta. Now, the next team up is dog shit. This might be the worst team up in the game, which is the Moonknight team up with Cloak and Dagger. Moonknight gets the ability to be invisible. But the radius is so small, similar to his Unk, that you can pretty much hack and slash in that area and you'll always get the kill on Moonknight. You have to be a complete idiot to miss this character in this invisibility, that's for sure. He might get you once or twice with this, but it's never worth it, and I feel like it's just a waste of a team up, and it just doesn't seem that great. So 100% a D tier for that team up. The next team up though, I think this is pretty high up there. Right now with the way everything's going, I think it's pretty meta as well. It's the Punisher, Winter Soldier, and Rocket team up. Rocket Raccoon being the person that gives the ammo intervention to his teammates being Punisher and also Winter Soldier through ammo overload, which looks like this. As you see, Rocket Raccoon places down his machine, Punisher gets increased fire rate and infinite ammo. Same thing does happen with the benefits of Winter Soldier. He gets increased fire rate and ammo. Now what ends up happening because of that, they do so much damage in such a short duration that the ultimate comes back so quickly. So if they've already used the ultimate, you just place this down between the 0% ultimate charge, and you place it down, they do damage, and they're already back to 100% with the ultimate ready to utilize again. Every 40 seconds, there's a guaranteed ultimate happening at some moment of the gameplay because of this. That's why I think this is so strong right now, and it's kind of, I think, underrated how strong it actually is, because you can't push. If they're able to set up this team comp well and hold choke points, they're just always ready to ult, and it's just so much damage happening so quickly because of this ammo intervention. And that's a very hard team up to deal with in ranked, especially with Rocket Raccoon getting a buff, Winter Soldier getting buffed, and Punisher getting a buff. They're all very effective characters, all strong characters right now, and that's why this is a meta team up. Alongside that, the next one is kind of decent. I'm putting it at the very top of decent, being the C tier, is the Hawkeye plus Black Widow team up. Hawkeye gets increased damage, but Black Widow gets the ability to use the after images that Hawkeye does have on his ultimate in her kit, which gives her more chances to kill opponents when she doesn't have any kill potential. So it's kind of decent. I don't think it's that great, but it's there, and I feel like there might be a season when this is going to be very effective, but right now it just feels underwhelming, and it's not even that necessary. Like, I can go without this, but if you're running this team up, then it could be useful, and maybe right now, against Storm players, Black Widow could shine. And with this team up available, it could even be easy to kill Storm players whenever they jiggle peek. You just use this to kill their clone, and good luck to the Storm player. They can't really survive it. So there's some type of viability towards it, but I just don't think it's that useful. But the next team up you never see. If you ever seen this team up in action, I'll be shocked. But I actually think it has potential. I'm going to put it at the top of decent, maybe good. But since no one is running these characters in combination, you never get to see the benefit. That's Squirrel Girl plus Spiderman. Spiderman does give you the ability to put this like web slingshot towards enemies, and once it does land, it affects multiple enemies in one area, pretty much stunning them. And it looks like this. So it's really good that you can get this. It's increased damage plus a stun, where they can't move for a bit. It's so good. The problem is no one's running this because Squirrel Girl just got buffed. That'll make her more of a pick character, and that's for sure. We've seen it more and more in this season already. But Spider-Man isn't getting any buffs, so no one's playing the character. And if you ever see Spider-Man, you never see a Squirrel Girl. Or if you see a Squirrel, you never see a Spider-Man. It's hard to get those two players in the same team up and be effective at the same time. But I feel like this is going to be a very strong team up at some point. You just need to find two good players that play both these characters. And another decent team up is the Gamma Fastball between Hulk and Wolverine. It's so finicky, but it does work here and there. It essentially gives Wolverine another feral leap, which allows him to go even closer towards enemies before he has to kidnap one of them with his combo. It's alright, it's not the best thing in the world, but it has potential. The problem is, it always comes down to where the Hulk player is and how he's able to control this, and usually they're very inexperienced, but in a good duo team up with communication, you can make sure that this does help out in your games and ends up being somewhat useful. But since it's always kind of finicky, I think it deserves the C tier. I don't think you can put it any higher than that. It's just kind of there, and you can use it when you want to. And the next team up is the Iron Fist plus Lunar team up. This is somewhat decent. Iron Fist can be a picked character. You can actually play this character in ranked and get to top 500. It is possible. And Lunar is S tier. Everyone's playing the character all the time. And what you do is give Lunar the ability to actually knock back opponents. Any type of additional CC in any team up is always kind of favorable in team fights. But also it does apply slow, which that could be kind of favorable as well. So they can't really run away after this. And it heals teammates, which I didn't think about. So that's maybe a benefit there. That's actually kind of good. But I don't think it's good enough to go to the next tier, because Iron Fist players are not really there. You don't really see too many. And usually this team up is not always active. Another issue. As you see, the majority of characters above in the high tiers are usually picked. The characters below it are usually not. So it's hard to always get that combination of that team up active. And even then, to get full value out of it is always questionable. But I feel like I'm going to put the Spider-Man team up a little bit higher, because I feel like it has potential. Maybe I'll put these into the good tier. We're going to change this in a bit. I'm going to change this a bit. We'll keep it like this for now, and then we'll do final amendments after. Next team up is Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. And I actually think this is a good team up. there's a lot of benefit for Mr. Fantastic that keeps him alive for even longer, which is crazy. As you can see, he's able to activate the team-up functionality, which does grant him damage resistance, but also gives him a bonus HP regeneration that happens over time, depending on how much HP that he did lose in that moment. And having more sustainability on this character makes him a complete menace, and he just stands there. And you can't really kill him because his other abilities are still there. He still get a shield if a teammate's close by or targets an enemy. He's just always surviving, and that's the value of Mr. Fantastic, and this team-up just gives him more value in that capacity. So it's really cool to see. A very consistent and good team-up that can be used always, because Invisible Woman is pretty much a must-pick right now. Everyone's using it against dive comps, and it works out beautifully. And now with that, let's do some final amendments and double-check everything. I do feel like the Gamma Charge is a strong one that has to stay there. The Adam Warlock one is so good on defensive missions, but also good on attack. Ammo Overload is always good. This team-up is pretty strong right now. Like, it's just so effective, these team-ups. So I'm going to keep them there. You can mix and match depending on the situation, the map, what you feel like, and your team players, depending on their picks and what's stronger or not. In that case, if what they're more comfortable with, then you can use these team-ups at any point. And you always get the benefit of getting easier wins with this team-ups at the very top in the S meta tier. Below that, it becomes situational, and you can get very good outcomes from those team-ups, which I feel like that is kind of necessary. Keep them there. I might even move Magik a little bit higher to the next one, the Magik team up, because if you're running a full dive comp, this works out so beautifully. If you want the damage consistency through Hela, you get that, and the consistency of Namor. They are very consistent team-ups, which makes them very good. And the B tier, the Invisible Woman plus Mr. Fantastic team-up, we'll keep that there. Spider-Man team-up with Squirrel, I'm actually put that higher. There's a bit more value here because of what it gives to the team. It's hard CC, and that's so good. Same thing with the Iron Fist Lunar, I'm going to put that a little bit higher. Even though they're not always used, I feel like they can work really well together, which leads to them being picked in that team up. In the C tier, we have the Gamma Fastball, Allied Agents, Metallic Chaos, and the Planet X-Pals. Maybe this can go to the very top. There's more benefit with this than the rest, and even that one too. Oh, the top of C tier. We'll keep it like that. And the D tier, we have the Symbiotic Bond and the Lunar Force. I think that's the best tier list for team-ups you can ever get at this current season of Season 1. And you can see straight away, everything that's above is just consistent, strong, effective, and anything that's below, you usually don't pick, or you don't want to pick. If you do pick it, like you pick a Groot and Raccoon, you're not picking them for the team-up, you're picking them because they're strong characters. That's the reason why. There's no other reason why you're not using the team-up at all in those cases at the high ranks. Just doesn't happen unless you're trying to get additional movement from that team-up. Other than that, very consistent in the high tiers of this tier list, very inconsistent on the bottom of the tier list. That's what makes a good team up and what makes a bad team up, and how they can actually be implemented in gameplay and the value you get through these team ups. But tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. Did I cook with this team up tier list? I would love to know in the comments. As always, mates, it's been a pleasure, and I'll catch you mates next time. Bye bye.